Alright guys, roster update prediction time. This Friday we do have a roster update coming to MLB The Show 19. Player attributes are going to be changed. They're doing this every 2 weeks, and just like every other time, I'm going to give you guys my predictions on who I think is going silver, gold, and diamond. Before I jump into the predictions, just like every time, I'm going to let you guys know 3 things before we start. Number 1, these are only going to be upgrades. I don't like talking about downgrades in my video. I just like focusing on the guys who I think are going up. So I know some people are talking about Joey Votto possibly going down to a gold. If you want to take a look and research that, go for it. I'm just not going to talk about it in these videos. Number 2, I'm only going to be discussing players that I think are jumping from one tier to the next. So I'm only going to talk about guys going from bronze to silver, silver to gold, and gold to diamond. A guy like Tim Anderson may get a bit of an upgrade, but I don't think he's going to go all the way to a gold, so I'm not really going to touch on his player card in this. And number 3, these are just my opinions. These are not guarantees that any of these guys are going to go up or down. So if you take anything that I talk about in this video and you invest in a player and it doesn't end up happening, I'm sorry, it's not a guarantee, it's just a prediction. With that being said, let's jump into it. Let's start it off with bronze to silver. Marcus Stroman, I did talk about him in the last video as well. I'm pretty sure he got a slight boost from a 73 to a 74. I can't remember, he might have, he might not have. Either way, I do think he does have enough to go silver this week. He's got a 1.43 ERA in 37.2 innings pitched, 36 strikeouts with only 14 walks. He has a 1.088 whip. He hasn't allowed a single home run all season long. I do think he deserves an upgrade to that home run per 9 stat being at 68. I do also think he deserves a hits and Ks per 9 upgrade because both 60 and 59 are pretty low. With the numbers that he's putting up, his hits and Ks per 9 are a lot better this year. I think both of those should get upgraded, and you know, just a little bit is going to get him up to a 75. So I think Marcus Stroman goes silver on Friday. Next up, let's keep it in the American League East, going over to the New York Yankees. A big time power bat, a dude that is really making a name for himself, Luke Voit. I think he should go silver. Similar to Marcus Stroman, he's only 1 point off, and if you look at his inside edge, he's playing plus 13 against right-handed pitching today, and that brings him all the way up to a 78. That brings him closer to a gold than a silver, so he definitely should have enough to get there. This season he's hitting 283 with a 397 on base, a 538 slugging with a 935 OPS. He's got 8 home runs, 3 doubles, and 25 RBIs on the year. In the last 2 weeks alone, he's hitting 375 with a 483 on base, a 667 slugging, and 1150 OPS with 4 home runs. And against right-handed pitching, he's got 64-68 on his attributes. He's got a 279 average with 7 home runs and 20 RBIs. I think he could honestly get a boost to the right-handed hitting numbers as well as the left-handed hitting numbers, specifically contact. Just a little bit is going to get him up to a 75. I think Voit goes silver. Next up, we're going to talk about a guy from the National League. We're going to talk about a bullpen arm, Jordan Hicks from the St. Louis Cardinals. Obviously, that 99 velo is very apparent in the way this guy throws. He's got a 2.13 ERA on the season in 12.2 innings pitched. He's got 16 strikeouts to 5 walks, a 0.868 whip, 9 out of 10 on save opportunities so far this season. I think his walks per 9 stat should go up. It's at a 43 right now, and right now he's got a 3.6 walks per 9 on the season, so that's definitely better than he was doing in the past season. So I think that 43 overall stat should go up, as well as the hits per 9. The hits per 9 is looking really well this year. He's at a 4.3, so I think that stat should go up too. The Ks per 9 could go up. I mean, I could see it going up. It might be a little bit, if anything. So with those 3 stats, I think that's definitely enough for him to go up to a silver. I mean, he just gets a +5 on hits and Ks. That brings him up there. I think Jordan Hicks does have enough to go silver. Freddie Galvis, another guy that we talked about in the past roster update video. He got a little bit of a boost, I think, in the last roster update. I think he went from a 72 to a 74, but I think, honestly, he has enough to even go up to a 75 in this roster update. 315 average on the season with a 337 on base, 522 slugging with an 859 OPS, 5 home runs on the season, 4 doubles, 12 RBIs, and against right-handed pitching, he's hitting 313 with a 921 OPS and 5 home runs. I think he gets a slight boost to his right-handed hitting numbers, especially with a 313 average, the way he's hitting. I think he gets a boost there. I think that's enough to bump him up 1 overall to a 75. Yoan Moncada, another guy that we discussed in the previous video as well, third baseman for the Chicago White Sox. He's having a very, very good 2019 so far. far, hitting .314 on the season with a .374 on base, a .571 slugging, and a .945 OPS, 6 home runs, 7 doubles, 1 triple, 20 RBIs already. Against right-handed pitching this season, he's hitting .338 with a .408 on base, an OPS over 1,000 with 6 home runs. I definitely think he needs a little bit more of a contact and a power upgrade against righties. I know that's his strong stat for his hitting right now, but I don't think 63.75 is really reflecting what he's able to do against right-handed pitching so far. So, I mean, with the 6 home runs and the 340 average, I think that definitely brings him up to a 75. He could possibly get a small little boost to left-handed numbers as well, pretty much only contact, but I think he should have enough to get to a silver. And last but not least, the final bronze to silver upgrade I'm going to talk about in this video, Trey Mancini. Once again, we talked about him in the last one as well, and he's continuing to hit very, very well, continuing to show that he deserves to be upgraded. I mean, he's playing up 16 and he's playing up to a 76, so the hitting is definitely there. He just needs a little bit of a boost. He's hitting .355 on the season with a .405 on base, a .618 slugging, and an OPS over 1,000. In the last 2 weeks, he's hitting .385 with a .429 on base, so he's hitting for a ton of contact. He's got a .329 average against righties this season, 10 extra base hits, a .412 average against lefties with 7 extra base hits. So I think even across the board, I know he got an upgrade in the last roster update, but I think he should get another one. I think he should be a silver at this point, similar to pretty much everybody else in this. He just needs 1 overall, man. Just give him the silver. All right, bronze to silver is done. Now we're moving on to gold to diamond. This is where I think you can make a ton of stubs if you're investing correctly. So let's get into it. Like I said earlier, Tim Anderson, don't think he's going to go gold this week. Don't think he quite has enough. Not saying he can't get upgraded. I just don't think it's going to be enough to a gold. German Marquez, I'd really like for him to get upgraded to a gold, but with the past like 2 or 3 starts, he's allowing a ton of hits. It's not helping his hits and Ks per 9. Just not quite there yet. One guy I do think has enough though, Paul DeJong, 78 overall silver, only 2 points away from being a gold. He's absolutely killing the MLB this year with how he's hitting. .342 average on the season, 400 on base, 605 slugging, an OPS over 1,000. He's got 5 home runs, 13 doubles, and 13 RBIs on the season. In the last 2 weeks, he's hitting .391 with a .429 on base, 7 total extra base hits. His contact and his power against righties needs to be boosted up. His contact versus lefties needs to be boosted up. Overall, I think this guy just needs a bit of a hitting upgrade, and I think with enough, he can definitely go up to a gold. He needs 2 points up there. I think he gets there with the way he's playing, the way he's been putting the bat on the ball. Paul DeJong's been an incredibly clutch hitter for the Cardinals. Give him that 2 overall upgrade to a gold. Another guy, Nick Markakis. I actually thought he was going to start the season at a gold, but then he started at a silver, and, you know, I was wondering, like, what was the holdup? Maybe they're waiting to see if last season was just a really good season, then he would start off this season slow after playing all 162 games. But nope, Nick Markakis is just as good this season as where he left off in 2018, I'm sorry. He's hitting .330 on the season with a .402 average, or I'm sorry, a .402 on base, .480 on the slugging, and an .882 OPS. He's not hitting for a ton of power, but that's okay because he's still hitting for a ton of contact, and I don't think any of his power numbers should go up. Versus righty, he's got a .333 average with a .414 on base percentage, a .928 OPS, and 9 extra base hits. Actually, maybe power versus righties could go up a little bit. Not for home runs, but for doubles. I don't know. And then against lefties, he's got a .321 average, so I definitely think both averages should go up a little bit, possibly to a 94 or like a 93 against righties and maybe like a 90 against lefties, something along those lines. I mean, in the last 2 weeks alone, he's hitting .341 with a .426 on base. Nick Markakis deserves to be a gold. He was at a gold last season. Just give him back that gold card. He's only 1 point off. I think he should get there. And those are really the only silver to gold predictions I have for this week. I don't see a ton of other guys really making that jump. So that's pretty much it. Only 2 guys I think are going gold. Now it is time for gold to diamond. I'll start it off with a couple guys I think maybe have a chance, but I don't quite see them getting there yet. Let's get into it. Sean Doolittle. Sean Doolittle's having a very strong start to the season, a 1.35 ERA in 13 innings pitched. The only issue is that I don't really see any of his attributes currently going up. I don't see his hits per 9 going up because he's allowed 12 hits in 13 innings. I don't see his walks per 9 going up because he has 3 walks in the season. I don't see his strikeouts per 9 going up because I don't really see it any differently than it was last last year. I just don't really know what on his card goes up to actually get him to that diamond status. I could be wrong. He's only 1 point off, so he really doesn't need that much. I just don't really see any of these attributes themselves that actually give him that upgrade, but we'll see. Trevor Story, another interesting guy. This guy was my preseason pick for a gold to diamond lock, but as of right now, still don't know if he's gonna quite get there. He's definitely hitting righties for power this year, so I think the power versus righties has a good chance of going up. I just don't know if that's going to be enough to send him up all the way to a diamond, because he's only hitting like 240 against righties, so I don't really see his contact going up. So he's going to have to get a massive power boost against righties for that to get him to a diamond, if that's the only stat that's going up. So I don't quite think it's going to be this week for Trevor Story. That doesn't mean he can't go diamond the next week or the next 2 weeks or whatever, but I just don't see it happening this week. Matt Chapman, another guy that a lot of people are looking at right now. I mean, the thing about Matt Chapman is he doesn't need that much. He's got the fielding, 99 fielding with 89 arm strength. He's pretty much there. He just needs a little bit of a hitting boost, and he's hitting the ball really well this year. I think it's just going to take a little bit longer for him to get there, just because, you know, the hitting is really important at the third base position. I mean, he's hitting 292 on the season with 8 home runs and 7 doubles, 20 RBIs, so he's making a case right now, and he's playing up 12 against righties. That brings him up to an 87. So Matt Chapman is definitely got to keep your eye on. I just am not totally sold that it'll happen this week. He might get an upgrade to an 84. I just don't see diamond yet. And my last little honorable mention is Ronald Acuna Jr. I just don't know with Acuna. The hitting is there. He doesn't need any more hitting upgrades for him to go diamond. It's got to be fielding. That fielding is what's holding him back, and I don't know what SDS's criteria is for his fielding. He's still got that positive defensive WAR, so I mean, I don't really know what the criteria is. I would love to say Acuna's going diamond. I just don't really know how they value fielding and how they upgrade it. So that's all I really got to say about Acuna. Yeah, I think he should be diamond. I just don't know when it's going to be. Okay, the first legit gold to diamond prediction I have is Trevor Bauer. I do think he's going to make diamond this week. I think he's going to jump from an 83 to an 85. I think he definitely deserves a little bit of a hits per 9 upgrade. He's got a 1.99 ERA on the season and 40 innings pitched, although that might have gone up just a little bit, because I'm pretty sure at the time I'm recording this video, he started against the Marlins and allowed like 3 or 4 runs. So his ERA might be a little bit higher than it was. But he's got like 45 strikeouts to 19 walks, a whip just above 1. But like I said, he's got a really nice hits per 9 ratio this year, so I think his hits per 9 stat should go up 77, bump that up 5 or 6. I think that probably is enough to get him up to an 85. I don't really think you need to touch his Ks per 9 or his walks per 9. I think if you just give him a bit of a hits per 9 increase, that brings him up to a diamond. So I do think Trevor Bauer is going to get there this week. I have him at an 85. And last but not least, of course, Cody Bellinger. I think it's time he goes diamond. I don't know how his position change, if he ever gets that position change, is going to affect his overall. I don't know if that's going to impact him positively or negatively. Either way, he should be there just with his hitting alone. So far, he's hitting 434 in the season with a 508 on base, a 906 slugging, a 1400 OPS, 14 home runs, 37 RBIs, 6 doubles, 46 total hits already on the season, 436 average in the last 2 weeks with a 1300 OPS versus left-handed pitching, which is his not strong suit on his card, 343 average, 1100 OPS, 4 home runs. He's got a positive defensive WAR, if that makes any difference when it comes to his position changing. I don't know. I don't even need to say anything about Cody Bellinger. Give him the friggin' diamond. He deserves it. He's going for like almost 20K on the market as a gold. Cody Bellinger he's going diamond. And that's it. Those are my roster update predictions for, what is it, May 3rd? Yeah, May 3rd is when the update is going to be. Hopefully you guys took some of these and made some investments. I hope they all come true. But yeah, guys, those are my predictions. If you think I missed somebody, or if you want to, highlight somebody, leave it down in the comments. Let people go down there. They can get some ideas for some investments and upgrades there too. So go ahead and sound off down in the comments. But anyway, drop a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to keep up with the rest of these. And guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.